The subject of roommates. I want to give you a brand new, if you don't already have it, way of thinking. I want you to think of roommates. Now, I'm going to give a comparison of two different roommates. One roommate will come in, he'll be your friend, he'll talk to you, but he will not contribute to anything of prosperity in the house. Perhaps it might be your kids coming home to live back at home, and they don't want to give you any of the income from what they've been earning. They just want to live in mom and daddy's house. Your friend, it comes and he's your roommate, and he just wants to live and be friends with you, but don't want to contribute to anything in the household. Don't want to clean up behind themselves. Don't want to even wash their own clothes. Want you to do it for them. Don't even want to bring any food in the house, but want to eat up everything in your refrigerator. Now, this roommate may not be the person you want to live with. But we're not talking about that roommate today. We're talking about God. God is our roommate. He lives in us. I'm going to show you where we're coming from. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verses 16 and 17 says this: Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. Verse 17 says, If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. So in this passage of scripture alone, I want to walk just a little bit through it. It's telling you that you are the temple that God dwells in. God is your roommate. Although you live in this body. See, first of all, understand this. We live in this body. We live in this body. And God lives with us in this temple. That's the first portion. The next part of this says that if any man defiles this temple, then God will destroy him. What does defile mean? What you say? Misuse. What is the purpose of God dwelling in you to accomplish what?
Great things.
Great things. I'm glad you put great on there. Not ordinary things, because you can do ordinary things by yourself. You can go get a job by yourself. You can pay a certain amount of bills by yourself. But when you overextend yourself and it becomes greater than what you can do, that's when that roommate who comes into your life to make it better steps in and say, hey, whoa, calm down. We're going to look at 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17, 18 says this. 17, wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Verse 18, and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. Not my words, but God's. He is willing to be your roommate and your father. That's two positions. That's not one. He's going to be your roommate. He's going to live with you, in you, and be your father. Call you a son and a daughter. Now, do you understand what kind of inheritance comes with being a son or a daughter of God? Everything that you've ever needed in your life shall be met abundantly over. Then on top of that, pressed down, shaken together, shall men give into your bosom. You don't have to worry about a thing. But the point is, the first contractual point here, he says, come out from among them. Be ye separate. Okay, God, what does that mean? Can I continue to do the things that I used to when God wasn't walking in me? It's a question. It's a yes or no question. I'll repeat it. Can I continue to do the things that I used to before God was walking in me?
No.
So why do we continue? Somebody say, well, I don't, preacher. I don't smoke no more. I don't drink no more. I don't chase women no more. Well, that ain't the only things. That's the old school church that would sit there and grade your life according to what they could see. Jesus looks at your heart. When you used to sit down and worry about bills, do you still do it? When you used to sit back when nobody was looking and contemplate how you were going to make something happen, do you still do it? When you sit in secret and talk about your neighbor, do you still do it? It's those things that nobody sees that God looks at. Worry, stress, those are not attributes of God. If God is living in you and he is your roommate, you do not have to deal with that. I'm sorry. He said, be ye separate. Separate yourself from that thinking. Separate your... Okay, so if these things are pure, lovely, kind, think on these things. Separate yourself from what you used to do. I'm not going to live and share you with worry. I'm not going to live and share you with stress. I'm not going to live with you and share you with depression, poverty. I don't live in those places. When David would come to Saul and play for him skillfully, it was like music that was soothing to his stressful heart. Anxiety that would build up in him, how he would be tortured with the things of the earth that we deal with today. Saul dealt with that, and David was able to alleviate that by playing under the anointing. So you don't even understand what kind of things that you are dealing with, you don't even have to deal with. God as your roommate takes care of that. He'll put a praise in your heart. You ain't got to worry about it. When you have God as your roommate, he is not a roommate that will just sit there in idleness. He is not a roommate that will just sit there and watch you suffer. As a matter of fact, God as your roommate says, come here, take this, and I'll take what you got. I'm going to show you. Hold on just a minute. Let's go to Romans 8:31. Romans 8:31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? What shall we say to these things? What things? Fear, doubt, anger, lust, bondage, poverty, poor health. If God be for me, what can I say to these things? I'm not afraid. I am not bound by you. I do not understand why you are coming at me, but I do understand God is for me, that God lives within me. The contract between God and us says this: if I come in to live in you, over time, I'll help you clean up everything that is wrong. Over time, when you become clean, then I'm able to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings that you would not have room enough to. Over time. You didn't get the way you are by being born yesterday. It took you some time. As a matter of fact, you like some of the things you hang on to. Let me show you. Romans 8:37, nay. That means no. In all those things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Romans 8:37. No. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to fear. I'm more than a conqueror. And this is through Christ who loved me, the Son of God, that I've asked to come into my heart and dwell here. My roommate says that I don't have to be. Whatever it is that I'm supposed to learn, God is right there with me. I'm not alone. Lo, I'm with you always. Even when your lights get cut off. Lo, I'm with you always. Even when you don't got water. Lo, I'm with you always, even when you're homeless. Lo, I'm with you always, as long as you will have me. It's contractual. If you don't want me, listen, Just keep doing what you've been doing. Don't draw nigh to me, then I won't draw nigh to you. If you don't want me here, just act like you don't know me, and I won't be there. I'm not going to stand there and force you to be my roommate. I don't force myself on nobody. God has never done that. So when you're sitting there in lack and in need, call on your roommate. He's waiting. If God is your roommate, what can you do? I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. If God is your roommate, how does this battle come out? I am more than a conqueror. If God is your roommate, how do you make it from point A to point B? Because he said, I'll mount up with wings as eagles. That means I'm flying. Labor. We toil. We deal with the situation. We think about it. We ponder on it. We try to find solutions for the things that we go through. We try to find ways of dealing with things that are less abrasive. Everybody understand abrasive? That means it hurts. It hurts. We try to find ways around the hurt. We try to find. Jesus said, come unto me, all ye that labor. Let me give you the magnitude of labor. A woman in childbirth. They say she's in labor. She dies multiple times in labor because the body, under the stress of pushing out another human being who has previously fed on your body. You are already weak. You are already at a point where you're tired. Your legs hurt. They done swole up. Your body gets stretched out of proportion. You will forever, after you have a baby, deal with weight. Men don't have that problem. Women are so understanding of men. We can be big. They just love us. I feel protected. I might be fat and can't do nothing, but my woman loves me. Let her have a child and forever deal with the mindset of my body before my baby. You got belly. Your breasts get larger. Your behind get bigger. Now what do we do? Well, men, as insensitive as we may be, we don't help the situation. All of that deals with labor. Watch this. Men go through the same thing, because when you're in life, and the Bible says, in labor, what's labor? I'm dealing with a situation and I'm stressed, so I'm eating more. Now my body begins to sweat because I'm eating the wrong things. I'm drinking the wrong things. I turn to things that I believe can give me an answer, but they only tend to give me not an answer, but an illusion. It's going to be all right. When I drink past my understanding, it's going to be all right. I don't know. Labor. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you that. Okay, well, take my yoke. At this time, I want you to understand this. Take my yoke upon you. What does that mean? Christ is asking you to trade with him. What? You give me yours. That thing that causes you to stay up at night, that thing that gives you no rest. Give me yours. I'll give you mine. Mine's easy. What makes his so easy? I got the formula for winning. It's not a struggle for me. I already know how this thing is going to end. That takes away over 70% of it. How do you mean, Brother Preacher? When you worry about something, 70% of your time worrying gets you no result. That other 30%, when the solution actually comes, then you begin to rest. Jesus said, give me yours, I'll give you mine. I don't worry because I already know how to win.